Wait, so a credit report can affect your loans, your apartment application, your car payment, your interest rates, and even some jobs? And most people still barely know what's actually inside it?
That's the scary part. Millions of people make financial decisions every single day without fully understanding how credit reporting actually works.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think credit is just a number, right?
Exactly. And that's where the confusion starts. A credit score is only one piece of the story. Credit reporting is really about data, financial history, risk analysis, and sometimes inaccurate information.
So if that information's wrong, that can actually hurt someone in real life?
Absolutely. A mistake can affect whether you get approved, how much you pay, or whether you get flagged as risky. And honestly, many consumers don't find out there's a problem until they get denied.
So let's slow this down. What is a credit report, really?
Think of it like a financial profile. It can include your identifying information, your credit accounts, payment history, balances, credit limits, collections, and inquiries. The score may be based on that information, but the report itself is the foundation.
Right. So the score is built from the report, not the other way around.
Exactly. And, that's why reviewing the report matters so much. If the foundation is off, the outcome can be off too.
What kind of errors are we talking about here?
Some of the most common ones are identity errors like the wrong name or address, mixed files where someone else's account ends up on your report, duplicate debts, wrong balances, closed accounts showing as open, or late payments reported inaccurately. And yeah, that's a bigger deal than people realize.
Wow. So this isn't just theory. These are the kinds of details that can actually change someone's financial future.
It can. And under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or Fcra, consumers have rights. If information is incomplete or inaccurate, you have the right to dispute it. Credit reporting companies are supposed to investigate, and the companies that furnish the data also have obligations.
So the Fcra is basically the rule book here?
Pretty much. It's one of the main federal laws that governs credit reporting. It gives consumers the right to access their reports, dispute errors, and get notified when credit information played a role in a denial. That notice matters because it tells you something affected the decision.
And if someone wants to stay ahead of problems, what should they do?
Review your credit reports regularly. The nationwide credit reporting agencies still provide free reports, and checking your own report does not hurt your credit score. That part confuses people all the time. Seriously, people get nervous for no reason there.
Yeah, that myth is everywhere.
It really is. But the bigger point is this. If you understand your report, you can catch problems earlier, protect your rights, and make smarter decisions before a denial catches you off guard.
And today, that's exactly what we're breaking down. How credit reporting works, what the Fcra is, consumer rights, common reporting problems, and why understanding your credit report matters way more than most people think.
Welcome to the EZCreditPR podcast.
Finally, a clear path forward.
My financial goals feel closer.
Empowering your credit journey.
Let's be real. Trying to fix your credit on your own can get frustrating. Same steps, same results, nothing really changes. At EZCreditPR, we focus on education first. We help you understand what is really affecting your credit so you stop guessing and start moving the right way.
Empowering your credit journey.
Can I ask you something honestly? How can the credit bureaus report information about people and most consumers barely understand how any of it works?
That is actually one of the biggest problems in the credit world. A lot of people are making financial decisions every day without really understanding how credit reporting works or what rights protect them under federal law.
I thought credit reports were simple, just a score, a few accounts, and that is it.
That is what most people think. But once you really look at the system, you realize credit reporting can affect loans, apartments, insurance, interest rates, approvals, sometimes employment opportunities, and overall financial access.
Right. So who controls all that information?
The big names people know are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. They are consumer reporting agencies, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or Fcra, is the federal law meant to promote accuracy, fairness, and privacy in those reports.
So the law basically says, hey, if this information can shape somebody's life, it has to be handled carefully?
Exactly. And not just by the bureaus. Companies that furnish information, like lenders or debt collectors, also have legal duties. If a consumer disputes inaccurate information, those companies generally have to investigate, and users of reports must give notice when they take adverse action based on a report, like denying credit, insurance, housing, or certain jobs.
Wow. So when people say if it is on the report, it must be true, that is not always true.
Not always. Mistakes happen every single day. And honestly, that is the scary part. A lot of consumers do not discover a problem until after they get denied or approved on worse terms. And then they are left asking, what just happened?
Yeah, that is a gut punch.
It is. And the official guidance is pretty clear. Consumers have the right to dispute incomplete or inaccurate information with the credit reporting companies. And to fully protect their rights, they should also dispute with the company that furnished the information.
So if I see something wrong, I should not just panic. I should challenge it?
Exactly. And there is a timeline people should know. Credit and consumer reporting agencies generally have to respond to disputes within about 30 to 45 days. If the issue is not resolved, a consumer can ask to add a brief statement of dispute to the file for future reports.
That is huge, because most people were never taught any of this.
Right. And here is another thing. Accurate negative information usually cannot just be removed because someone does not like it. I know, people hate hearing that. But inaccurate or incomplete information can be disputed, investigated, and corrected if the claim is valid.
And this is not some tiny issue in the background, right?
Not at all. Consumer reporting remains one of the most complained about areas tracked by federal regulators, which tells you this is not rare and it is not theoretical. This is happening in real life to real people all the time.
So the real message of this episode is credit reporting is powerful. Mistakes are possible, and consumers need to know their rights before a denial wakes them up.
That is it. Credit reports are not just paperwork. They can open doors or close them. And if consumers do not understand the system, they are making major financial moves without seeing the full picture. That is why knowing the Fcra matters.
Finally, a clear path forward.
My financial goals feel closer.
Empowering your credit journey.
Let's be real. Trying to fix your credit on your own can get frustrating. Same steps, same results, nothing really changes. At EZCreditPR, we focus on education first. We help you understand what is really affecting your credit so you stop guessing and start moving the right way.
Empowering your credit journey.
I actually checked my credit report once, and honestly, I felt overwhelmed. There were accounts I didn't understand, dates I didn't recognize, and information that just looked confusing.
And that happens all the time. People open a report and they see balances, late payments, collections, inquiries, charge-offs, utilization reporting dates. And yeah, most consumers don't really know what they're looking at.
So people panic?
Absolutely, all the time. And fear creates bad financial decisions. That's one of the biggest problems right there.
What kind of mistakes are we talking about?
People pay emotionally, they apply for random accounts, they ignore possible reporting errors, they hurt their utilization without realizing it, they close accounts the wrong way, or they trust bad information they saw online. And that last one is everywhere.
So social media confuses people too?
Oh, absolutely. There is a lot of misinformation, a lot of hype, a lot of shortcuts, a lot of people saying, do this now, fix everything fast. But under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, consumers actually have specific rights, and education matters more than hype. That law is meant to protect the privacy of consumer report information and support accuracy in what gets reported.
Right. So this is bigger than just being stressed out by a screen full of numbers.
Exactly. According to federal consumer guidance, if information on a credit report is inaccurate or incomplete, you have the right to dispute it and have it investigated. And if a lender, insurer, or employer takes adverse action based on a report, they generally have to notify you. So this is not just paperwork. It can affect real life.
Wow. So what should people do first?
Slow down. Really review the full report carefully. First, understand what is reporting, who is reporting, the dates, the balances, the account status, and whether the information actually appears accurate. Analysis comes before action.
So strategy before emotion.
Exactly. Strategy before emotion. And here's something important. Federal agencies say consumers can get free credit reports regularly, including weekly online access from the nationwide bureaus. So checking your report should be part of your routine, not a panic event. The goal is to spot issues early, not react late.
And if somebody does find something wrong, what then?
Then you dispute it clearly and with details. Consumer guidance says the credit reporting company is not required to investigate a dispute that is too vague or missing enough information. So you want to identify the exact item, explain what looks wrong, and support your position. If the issue is tied to identity theft, there are separate recovery steps too.
That actually makes this feel a lot less scary. It's still serious, but less chaotic.
That's the point. And one more thing. Recent federal reporting shows credit and consumer reporting complaints remain a major issue, which tells you this confusion is not rare. You are not the only person looking at a report and thinking, what am I even seeing? That reaction is incredibly common.
Yeah, so the takeaway is not panic, not random moves, and definitely not internet myths.
Right. Review carefully. Verify what's accurate, dispute what isn't, and make decisions from facts instead of fear. That is how you protect your credit.
Finally, a clear path forward.
My financial goals feel closer.
Empowering your credit journey.
Let's be real. Trying to fix your credit on your own can get frustrating. Same steps, same results, nothing really changes. At EZCreditPR, we focus on education first. We help you understand what is really affecting your credit so you stop guessing and start moving the right way.
Empowering your credit journey.
Welcome back to the EZCreditPR podcast. Today, we're breaking down something a lot of people see, but almost nobody really gets. Credit reporting and the Fcra. And yeah, that sounds technical, but stick with us because this affects real people every single day.
Exactly. People usually don't start learning about credit until something goes wrong. A denial, a high interest rate, a collection account. Then suddenly they're trying to understand a system they were never taught.
So let's start with the basic question. How does information even get onto a credit report?
Through data furnishers, banks, credit card companies, auto lenders, and collection agencies. They send account information to the credit bureaus, and the bureaus organize that reporting into a consumer's file.
Right. So the bureaus don't actually create the information?
Correct. They receive it, match it, and report it. That distinction matters because when something is wrong, you need to understand where the information came from in the first place.
And that's where the Fcra comes in, right?
Yes, the Fair Credit Reporting Act is the federal law that helps regulate how consumer information is collected, reported, shared, and challenged. In simple terms, it creates rules for accuracy, investigations, reporting procedures, disclosures, disputes, timelines, and consumer rights.
So basically, it's there to protect consumers?
It is. According to federal consumer guidance, the law is designed to promote accuracy, fairness, and privacy in consumer reporting. It also gives consumers the right to dispute inaccurate information and, in many cases, get free access to their credit reports.
Wow. I'm telling you, a lot of people never learned any of this.
And most consumers didn't. Honestly, they only learn credit after problems happen. And by then, emotions are high, the phone is ringing, and people want to react fast.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. If something on a report is inaccurate, can a consumer challenge it?
Absolutely. A consumer can dispute inaccurate information with a credit reporting company, and they may also dispute directly with the furnisher, meaning the company that supplied the data. When a dispute is sent through the credit reporting company, the furnisher generally has to investigate and report back the results.
That sounds empowering, but also kind of easy to mess up.
It can be, because strategy matters, documentation matters, timelines matter, and understanding the process matters. If you send vague disputes, incomplete records, or emotional messages without evidence, you can weaken your position.
So this isn't just about being upset. It's about being organized.
Exactly. You want a clear explanation of what's wrong, supporting documents, and a process-focused mindset. Federal sources also remind consumers they can get free credit reports from the official federally authorized source, which is one of the best places to start reviewing what's actually being reported.
That's such an important point. Before people try to fix credit, they need to understand the system that produced the report in the first place.
Yes. And once you understand that system, you stop guessing. You start moving with intention. Because emotional reactions create expensive mistakes, but informed action creates leverage.
That is the line right there. Informed action creates leverage. All right. If you've ever looked at your credit report and thought, what am I even looking at? You are not alone. But now you know the basics. Furnishers send the data, bureaus organize it, and the Fcra gives consumers rights.
And yeah, the key is simple. Learn the rules before you make your next move.
Finally, a clear path forward.
My financial goals feel closer.
Empowering your credit journey.
Let's be real. Trying to fix your credit on your own can get frustrating. Same steps, same results, nothing really changes. At EZCreditPR, we focus on education first. We help you understand what is really affecting your credit so you stop guessing and start moving the right way.
Powering your credit journey.
Here's what most consumers never hear. Your credit report is one of the most important financial documents connected to your life. And honestly, a lot of people never properly review it.
That's honestly true. I mean, people hear about credit scores all the time, but they don't always realize the report behind that score can affect loans, housing, insurance, and sometimes even job-related decisions.
Exactly. And understanding your rights changes everything. So let's start simple. What is the Fcra, and why should regular consumers care?
The Fcra is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It's a federal law designed to protect the privacy and accuracy of information in consumer reports. In plain English, it gives people the right to see what's being reported about them and dispute information that's incomplete or inaccurate.
Right. So this isn't just about staring at a number and hoping for the best.
Exactly. It's about the full picture. The law also limits who can access your report. And if a company takes adverse action based on a report, like denying credit, they generally have to notify you.
That part matters a lot. And when consumers understand the Fcra, reporting procedures, disputes, documentation, and credit analysis, they stop feeling powerless.
So education becomes leverage, because once you know the process, you stop guessing. You start checking dates, balances, account status, payment history, and whether information is being reported consistently.
Walk me through disputes, because that's where people get overwhelmed.
Yeah, and fair enough. If you find information you believe is inaccurate or incomplete, you can dispute it with the credit reporting company. According to federal consumer guidance, those companies generally must investigate. usually within about 30 days. And in some cases, that timeline can extend to 45 days. And if a furnisher keeps reporting a disputed item, the dispute status should be noted.
So documentation really matters. Not emotion, not frustration, but documentation.
Exactly. Keep copies of letters, account statements, identity documents when relevant, and any proof that supports your position. And if you disagree with the results, you may be able to add a brief statement of dispute to your file so future reports reflect that disagreement.
That's huge. Also, people should know they can get free credit reports through the official annual report process, right?
Yes, and that's one of the smartest habits consumers can build. Review your reports regularly, not just when you're denied for something. Catching an error early can save a lot of stress later.
And that's the mission behind EZCreditPR: to educate, to guide, and to help consumers better understand the credit system.
Because financial decisions should never be made from fear. They should be made from understanding. I really do wish somebody explained this years ago.
And that's why we make these conversations. If this episode helped you, like, comment, and share it with somebody trying to better understand credit. And tell us in the comments, what topic should we cover next?
Because we're just getting started. We'll be covering collections, disputes, business credit, consumer laws, credit scoring, financial strategy, and real consumer education.
And if you want guidance understanding your credit profile, visit EZCreditPR.com or call us today at 412-520-8254. Learn your rights, understand your credit, and start the right way.
And make sure you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We'll see you in the next conversation.